Thank you very much. I'm actually on the receiving end of this, quite literally, and I can see how difficult it is. For example, farmer has a field, in the winter he builds a straw stack on it, and the mapping satellite just happens to go overhead, sees the straw stack, thinks it's a building, and excludes that from the field. Another example is where, during the winter, a low area of the field could flood. The mapping satellite happens to go over there, and as far as it's concerned, that is a lake that's always there. Another problem is, say, on a grass field where silage or hay has been harvested, and the farmer is careful for all the traffic that's carting the material to go down what we call the headland. That changes its appearance. It makes it look like a track. Satellite takes that out as part of the field. Then, of course, basic things like a temporary electric fence, which is put up perhaps for just a few weeks, but the satellite catches that and says that's got to be a subdivision in the field. That needs 2 different numbers. And of course, if you get these things wrong, you can get fined. The dilemma is, for the farmer, that he spots that there's a problem. He then tries to get it put right. And so he asks for another map, or he tells the RPA, in our case, that he's got a problem. Immediately he goes to the back of the queue, and he doesn't get his payment. And so there's a huge disincentive to think, oh, well, it's only a quarter of a hectare, whatever it is, I won't bother. And then, of course, inaccuracies get ingrained in the whole thing. Now, in the UK, and we take this down to 4 decimal places now, it is getting as fine as that. And I'm just wondering, is this done in other member states? I understand this from the taxpayer's point of view. They cannot pay out money on lumps of concrete, and of course in the Scottish Highlands, when does a lump of rock become a lump of rock and not part of a field? It's hugely difficult. I see somebody smiling over there. He understands the problems. But the real point I want to get across is that the dilemma the farmer is in. If he tries to correct it, he goes to the back of the queue. And that is what we're struggling with in the UK at the moment. Some people still are waiting to receive payments, not from the 2016 year, but the 2015 year. And a lot of this relates to mapping errors. Budget cuts mean that there isn't enough staff in our RPA, a Rural Payments Agency, to really get on top of these things. And that's where the system starts to break down. I'm aware I haven't offered anything really constructive, but I think it demonstrates how the CAP is becoming unworkable. It's simply too big for all these countries. Thank you.